Hi guys, my name is Jason Chen, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Getting to the Point. So today I'm going to not make this video too long because I lost my voice on Tuesday. Like, I was sick and I was singing too much and it really disrupted my vocal cords, so I should still let my vocal cords heal, but I was just so excited to, continue working on this YouTube channel, so I wanted to make something, but I'm going to try to make this one quick. So today I want to make this YouTube channel, this YouTube video, I want to make this YouTube video called "The Problem with Vegans is that they are very lonely." If you've heard this point, you're probably thinking, Jason, I know you. Your YouTube channel isn't that popular yet, so all your viewers are your friends, and I'm your friend, and I thought you were vegan. And actually, so I've been reflecting a lot on veganism, and I tried it for 5 months. I started in September, and then I ended at the beginning of February for Chinese New Year's because I wanted to share a meal with my family, enjoying food that my parents love. And I wanted to enjoy the same meal with my parents, so I didn't want to put any restrictions on what we can make. And so I ended my veganism on that day, and ever since then I've been eating meat again. So, there you have it. If you're watching this, you're probably my friend, and you probably thought I was vegan, but I stopped being vegan in February. And I have been reflecting on veganism for a long time. I think most of us have, because it's quite a particular phenomenon of the 21st century, of the lifestyles of my generation. I think veganism really exploded. As I don't know, this Instagram millennial generation grew up. I want to make this point today that I've been learning from Lacan. So if you've watched my last video, you know that I've been reading a lot of Lacan, a French psychoanalyst who is very hard to understand and who likes to point out quite cynically that what we do that seems like it comes from more moral intention often comes from some kind of quirk, some kind of neurosis in your subconscious. And oftentimes, what we do that seems moral isn't moral. I think veganism is one of those phenomena. I think it's a phenomenon, once again, I'm trying to make this in one take, so sometimes I'll trip on my words. I think veganism is a phenomenon that seems moral, but really isn't. I was vegan for enough time to really identify as vegan, to really go through the throes of the lifestyle. But at one point, I started reading all these books. And they didn't really have to do with veganism, but they only had to do with veganism very obliquely, just because they were classics on the topic of morality, so of course they would touch on veganism because they just touched on what it means to be moral. So I read the Bible, quite the authority. I read the Iliad by Homer. This isn't quite a moral text. It's more about how to be a hero. So I guess it is about morality. Anyways, it is about people you should be inspired by. So I read the Iliad, and I also reflected a lot on the words of Confucius. So this is my copy of the 4 books. The 4 books are 4 major works of Confucianism, and amongst them is included the Analects, which is a collection of sayings by Confucius. So I was reading all these books. Oh, one more that I'll mention is Grapes of Wrath, also a really good morality tale. Yeah. Teaches you a lot about morality. I noticed something. All the characters in these books, these huge tomes of the world canon, all these characters eat meat. In fact, the fact that they're eating meat isn't really an issue. It's not an issue for these guys. It's not an issue for Confucius. It's not an issue for Hector and Nestor and Achilles. It's not an issue for anyone in this book. For crying out loud. It seems that, I don't know if there's a line that says it, but I'm pretty sure that even Jesus Christ eats meat. So what the heck is going on? Is being vegetarian really that moral if these guys don't even care about that question? In all these books, there are characters who eat meat partially because they have to. I started noticing this. I noticed that they have to, usually in order to fulfill some kind of high moral purpose. I'll name 2 instances. In this book, oftentimes the characters have to eat meat because they need to eat some kind of high protein, high energy source meal that gives them enough energy to work to feed their family. Because if they don't feed their family, they're all going to die because they're poor. And they live in a world where if you're poor and you don't work, no one gives you anything. In this book, characters eat meat only because, very similarly, they need high protein, high energy meals to keep them going in fighting a war. Because they need to make sure that their country wins this war. And they need to make sure that they have as much energy as they can to be a good brother. It's about brotherhood. It's about doing your best to fight alongside these guys you love. You have to. In this world, you have to eat pork. You just have to. They don't have tofu, you know? But even if they ate tofu, it just wouldn't be enough, you know? Have you guys ever tried to be vegan or be vegetarian and also do the strenuous work of farm labor or war? I mean, I haven't, but I'm gonna guess it's really hard. Meat gives you a sort of energy that no vegetable protein source really can give you. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a nutritionist. I can't explain well, but we've been there before, right? Let me tell you. After I started eating meat again with my family over that Chinese New Year's meal, I kept going because I just noticed that I was more energetic and honestly a bit happier. And I'll make the side point that I think you become unhealthy and you become unhappier if you eat too much meat, if you eat an unbalanced meal. But I noticed that while I already was eating a lot of vegetables, once I added meat to my diet, I became happier. I had more energy. I woke up, boom, I had more verve, you know? I was more excited. I could be more ambitious in little things I do, you know? I could be like, yeah, we're gonna go get a sandwich? Heck yeah, let's go get a freaking sandwich! Seriously. So the thing about meat and all the other products that are denied by vegans, like dairy and eggs, is that, well, you only start to question the morality of eating these things if you're not doing something like trying not to die or trying to be a hero. Once you try to go to the maximum of what it means to be human, you stop worrying about this petty question of whether or not you should eat meat. So what is going on? What is going on? I should probably not speak too much longer because I should really rest my voice. What is going on? I think what happens with a lot of vegans is that their life loses purpose. They don't feel any longer like they have to do their best to be the best human being they could possibly be to become a hero. Only then can you even question whether you need meat. And what does it mean to have purpose? I mean, obviously, I would have to, I don't know, come back to you when I'm 70 years old with a PhD and after I've met 10,000 people and done all that. It's a very hard question. But we all know the basics. Purpose has to do with people. What do these books have in common? They're about trying to do your best for the people around you. In this book, purpose is derived from the fact that you have a family that you love and you need to feed your family. From this book, similarly, purpose comes from the fact that you love your brothers, the people you fight with. So obviously vegans, one thing that's happening is that they probably don't have others that they're fighting for. It's no coincidence that a lot of vegans come from a place of privilege, including myself. I'm this upper middle class Southern Californian suburbanite. I think a lot of vegans come from a similar background because they come from this place where they're no longer, fighting because their family is upper middle class and comfortable, and they could keep fighting. It's just the things you fight for at that level of comfort become even more hard to fight for. It's no longer a question of, am I going to physically die? At that level of economic comfort, question becomes, now that I'm already happy and comfortable, how can I make other people happier and comfortable? That is really difficult to step up to. When you are at that upper middle class stage where you're no longer fighting to not die, your next step on the ladder of spiritual purpose becomes, now I have to be not selfish. How do I help the people who are poor? And most of us don't want to actually do that because a lot of us can't face it. We're not that moral. And so we come up with some fake morality, something that's more easy. Oh, well, I don't really have enough moral energy to care about people. I'm going to care about chickens and cows because I don't have to talk to them. The uncomfortable thing with morality is that true morality, is about caring for other people. And that's really hard because people suck. You could really help someone like Jesus does. He helps a lot of people and they are really rude to him. You might, like Jesus, garner the hate of people you help. You might go feed homeless people at a soup kitchen. Next morning, you see the same homeless people, and they might spit at you. I don't know. People are crazy like that. And and then you just have to take it. And it's not pleasant to be that kind of good person, you know? Sometimes you do get like, oh wow, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You get like sincere gratitude, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're like Jesus, you get chased out of a town for trying to improve the way people live their lives. So I think vegan people, they start to care about cows and chickens because cows and chickens can be rude to them. Cows and chickens aren't people. Sure, cows and chickens can't really give the same kind of gratitude that humans can give, but they also can't, I don't know, betray you, make you cry, make you feel unwanted. I think vegans, they look for an easy way to feel moral, which isn't very moral. I don't think there's anything wrong with being vegan. There's just nothing right about it. If it helps your health, I think then that's moral. I think if you're being vegan because, like me actually, you have a weak stomach, or you feel a little more foggy when you eat meat more often, or when you eat dairy, or when you eat eggs, or like me, you have this lung condition. Okay, obviously I have a lot of health problems. So if you're like me and you have a weak lung condition, I grew up with asthma, then maybe you should cut out meat, fish, eggs, dairy to try to be healthier so we can help people, like what these guys do. If you're being vegan just to help cows, chickens, I'm going to give you an uncomfortable truth. You're not doing the moral thing. True morality, which is something that these guys know, has to do with people. If your morality is not oriented around people, you're probably in need of rethinking what you think means being a good person. I have a lot more to say about this, actually, but I hope the point has gone across. I think what's happening is that vegans don't have a circle of people to fight for anymore. They're not part of a community where they feel like they have a vital, heroic purpose. They're lonely. And in their loneliness, they get angry at people instead of wanting to be closer to them because they're lonely, and they're like, oh, why am I lonely? It's not because of me, it's because of other people. And other people hurt me, and I don't want to be with other people anymore. And I'm just in this cycle of loneliness. How am I going to get out of this? Well, you should try to get out of it by being a good person, by helping other people, but for a lot of people, that's a very hard truth to reach for. So when you're vegan, you grasp for an easy morality. You want to care about cows and chickens because they can't hurt you. This is my YouTube channel, Getting to the Point, and I will probably be talking a lot more about these topics of what is morality and the topic of veganism. I'll probably be talking a lot more about these things in later videos. For now, I say, see you later. I hope that you are living a purposeful life. See you guys.